consistency is key. One good game does not make you a top 4 team out of nowhere. So we need to wait and see for these first 3-4 rounds to see what Navi can truly bring, and that would probably let us know how the rest of this game will go.
All right, there it is. The Ying is out first. Navi has begun the ban phase, and that'll be given to Pwns now on Cafe. What'll they take out of this? I'm surprised we don't see more Glass bans or Glass play in general. Maybe this will be the map to have him in there, but Thatcher will be taken out. Reminder, Mira is banned, so not surprised if we'd see like, you know, Qaed or something like that in here. Valkyrie taken away. Cafe Dostoyevsky, nothing out of the ordinary again. And honestly, it would be nice to see some variety. Don't you think so?
It would be, but often we do still go down to the same old bans.
Yeah,
the reminder
there's the Wami.
Is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be allowing the attackers to take areas like the kitchen, like the bakery, a little bit more easy, or get rid of the players behind the pixel, depending on how all these pieces of utility would have been set up. Normally, will definitely change, as there's only going to be the Jaeger active and available for the side of Navi to start off on, to use that for the projectile catching mechanisms. Now, up to Reading Room and Fireplace first. What we always used to see back in the day was that top floor, but that has shifted over the last year and is continuing to shift even more so to the downside of things, or at least the second floor of the map. And with that, it is starting to be the primary stat for many of these teams, with success as well.
With success, but right now, as I heard the deaths go on and on and on, honestly, that host just can never toss the game. I don't know what they're doing over there.
Yeah, host didn't know how to press start.
Honestly, so. I just blame it on whoever that guy is. And it seems like for Navi, they are setting up. This is, to be honest, the best site to play. You have so many layers that the attackers need to go through, and not having the Ying can also be a problem because you would like to peel off more of those layers. But what do you have on the attacking side here for Pwns? They're bringing up, you know, the Yana. They also have the Finka LMG, which we all know is absolutely scary. Please, cannot wait for that nerf. And otherwise, you just have a ton of utility, but it's not just about the utility and the grenades, which, by the way, there are 3 sets of here for Pwns. You add the Azami into all of this, and suddenly you have even more layers to go through as an attacker, and that hurts so freaking much.
I really like the Azami play there, because what we usually see is a bit of a wallbang to be attempted and then one onto the piano as well. So Blair only really has to worry about one of these windows truly, except of course if grenades start to fly around the corner. So that is something he needs to be worried about, and that flashbang will be a bit of a test to see whether or not there is an ADS near. The grenade will come through, but gets eaten by the ADS instead.
Very well done there. The ADS perfect position. In the meantime, it's a trade, a 1-to-1. Nath is taken down, but Amision is on the other side. A reminder here that losing the Aruni is not that big of an issue because it's all about setting up the Surya gates. You can reset them after that cooldown expires, but losing grenades for you as a sledge, that is a big deal. Now, Blur shot down, a big effort here for Pwns, and a great shot from him on Habana, and that just means that there's so much less utility available for Navi. But, you know, with this Azami kill, it just means that we are back to square one, pretty much. We reset to how this map would have been played before the operator was added into game, and you still have so many ways to clear out utility. There's still one more grenade left here. Scyther's the only one that has it, and otherwise, 3v4, very much doable for the defense.
Really use some utility there, though, to get rid of those Kiba barriers. But don't forget, we're not on the top floor here, Ghassan. We do need to still go down, and with that, they need to take that control of that top floor and start opening vertically. But Skitty still lurking around, doesn't see someone pass by, but definitely will get the information as soon as the ADS gets shot. Has the MP5. It's a good gun to get some kills. Gets one. Is going to be able to find a second? No. Will go down.
The Nitro, perfect timing from Thunder to try to turn it into a 2v2, and he will be successful. And still Yak and Thunder are alive in this case. They're watching the drop of the hatch and that oh so powerful position on the white stairs. You never want to be fighting engagements against people that are already entrenched in this position, and the Yak attack is definitely ready for this play of Exodus. Yeah, Finka LMG might be strong and all that, but is it really the solution that you need? At this point, 20 seconds left, you have to drop in. The information has been given now, utility burning out, anything that will slow down Pones' assault. It seems like they are turning away. They faked off into B, and they'll be splitting on to A. There's the hatch being spotted here in Laundry. Exodus will take down one, but Yak drops him, and that was Diffuser. Only a few seconds left. Not enough time, as Exodus will just dive into sight, pre-firing around the corner, and the Jaeger will survive to end it all and go the way of Navi in round one.
Good call in the end there. You drop that diffuser, you instantly start hopping back because they need to pick that up. 5 seconds on the clock is not enough time to go down for the defuse, because you will be hunted down as soon as that clock hits 0. So, surviving. Most important there for the side of Navi. Well done. And that's the bar will be up next. Up to the top floor we go. Azami not being brought out now, even though we did see her getting used quite a bit in piano. I think it's due to the fact that all those grenades came out, the impacts as well from the Sophia. You don't really feel that safe as you would otherwise with the keeper barriers, because they were easily dispatched off by the side of Pones. So, choosing to go for some different kind of ops here. The Cade coming out just to make sure that some of these walls will stay electrocuted, potentially, or I suspect will be done from below, making them clear out the second floor. Something like the first floor, second floor, you do not really usually have to clear if it is that top floor, because you can go from the hatches, you can go from these staircases. You just need a lot less control to actually execute here.
And the swap, as you see, there's no more mute. Thunder has swapped in the smoke for this work. Skiddy also has gone for the cloud. So you have those small differences because you are trying to delay even more than you try to when it comes to that lower side defense. Why is that? Well, it's simple. You have an extra layer of a full floor that you can use to your advantage when you're defending on that main floor. However, when you're upstairs and you're playing inside of bar, then you just need the extra layers and you build them up yourself, which also pulls in the question of why not the Azami, of course, in this case, but we're just going to have to try that out. It's not like the setup that Navi are bringing is not tried, true, and tested, that we know that it works. It's just, maybe there is a different way to do it. That comes down into the game itself. However, it does make sense in the case of Navi not actually setting up around that cigar Christmas tree area. They're setting up more in the back of White Hallway, which fits them quite well.
Taking care of some of the utility though, as a drone is quickly checking that bottom floor, potentially in a position where it could find the electric claw earlier on. Piano has been cleared though, and Emission will find that very first kill, takes out Skiddy, who is playing on the Cade, and that is going to be a very detrimental loss in the site. In the freezer, literally the heart of this bomb site. So they need to make sure that they kind of regain themselves on the side of Navi now, because they have the entry. They can start working on this. They know which areas are clear due to these drones just lurking around. And they might just as well execute in just a couple of seconds.
They might as well just do. And there's a grenade from Emission. Will hit Nath right on the head. Taking down the Jaeger. Always the ironic kill that we're looking for here. You got to really worry about those grenades when they're sailing on over ADSs or not. Doubling up here with the flashes of the Habana to clear out the site. Vision still has one more grenade if it need be, and Scyther is running the double smoke, so they can flood the site and go for it, Ying or not in this case. The Maestro with some very ballsy peaks in this position here for Yak. It might be time to push in. Drones are getting low. There's only 3 of them left for Pones. Oh no, the perfect timing could have been there, but Emission will land a nade on a Yak. Thunder and Blur will hit, and you'll be able to hear them quite well on the site here. And a 3 versus 2 is still doable for Navi, but Pones are wasting no time to go in for the plant. Emission will find the kill, pushing deep into Freezer. Leaves only one alone. The pre-fire. Oh my god, Blur, please hit the shot. There it is. Scyther taken down, but there's not much HP left here for Blur. Forced on to his pistol. They know exactly where he's coming from. A quick break and a quick reload inside of that toilet area, but the ace will come in. Emission will clear out the round, and all it takes is a sledge, some grenades, and an L85, and that'll do more than enough damage than needed.
Especially those grenades. I mean, it is a tool to get a kill relatively risk-free. You do not need to take the gunfight with whatever is on the other side. So you just toss one around the corner, make sure it's properly cooked, and it will explode right underneath their feet. Nothing that they can do. Found 2, according to that. Then use the L85. It's a pretty decent gun as well, so well played by them there. And as Navi then decides to go back towards the second floor, they think they will find more success there than up on that top floor, because they lost some quite early members that they weren't quite of a big fan of.
So what happens in this round now? It seems like there was just no way for NAVI have to just use those layers that they needed, layers of depth literally in that case. But now they're going to say, okay, well, we might be defending downstairs in that kitchen area, but we're actually going to spread out even more. Actually, excuse me, not in kitchen, but down in a mining. So you're going to spread out on the top floor and do exactly the same as you would have done otherwise. And instead of, okay, well, we just hold that small cocktail bar, we're just going to hold on to Cigar. Again, this is a question of maybe having the Zami in here would be great, but you're seeing the castle, you're seeing the smoke, and the mute also coming into play. Thank you very much, Des, for the water. There we are.
Water boy for EUL.
A beautiful one indeed.
Sorry, Des. Either way, as Medics joins the party. The Azami, I mean, she's a good operator, and she's... The thing is, though, she's not like a magical band-aid you can put on everything.
No, it's true.
To some extent, the gadget is. It is a magical band-aid, but the operator doesn't fill that role in any given setup. It doesn't magically make you win every single defense. So sometimes it's just better to go for other operators, like a castle. If you use them on double doors, it has a bigger reach.
You're trying to tell me that she's not like Lion on release? I thought
no, she's not like Lion on release.
No, what's going on? There's
kill.
the nade from Exodus. Thunder has been taken down, and oh man, what does all rename himself to Lightning? He's been struck twice by those nades over the past couple of rounds. A 5v4 advantage for Pwns in the now approaching the mid round, and all the util being destroyed as we speak. Piano being taken control of, but you got to face off against that Smoke, who's still alive. Blur is just slowing things down on the hatch, but you got a big position open, and Emission will find the kill on Blur as he tries to escape. Incredible here for Pwns as they take great control of really the most important part of the map.
Don't know how aware he was of the castle barricade behind him that had been opened up, because he just tried to rotate around freely whilst it was being watched. So a bit of miscommunication potentially coming through, or a lack of situational awareness, not quite sure. Maybe he just tried to run for it as Exodus finds a third on the side of Pwns. That's Nave now taken care of. It's only up to Yak and Skitty in that 2v5 situation. Yak will get one, but takes a lot of damage on the way there. And they do know where he is now. Skitty trying to roam up top, gets a lot of damage done on WTG, but he just swings at him and gets the kill instead.
Unfortunate here. Yak is left alone, but he cannot hit a bullet to save his life in this position. And will indeed lose it. The sledge is doing work, and this is when you're starting to think, okay, doesn't matter what utility we're bringing. If they just have a sledge and a bunch of grenades, then all will be well. They're going to be able to smash up our utility no matter where we put it, Hap. It's got to be painful, isn't it?
It is. And whereas reading has opened up again, they decide to go for the kitchen area now. So it's not just the side that's not working out, or that top floor. They realize that they're lacking some of that control. So they're going down towards that first floor. No grenades coming in from below will definitely be a big help, because they've lost quite some people to that these last 2 rounds. They do have to be worried about the top floor control, though. If you look over towards the left on the side of Pwns, you see the sledge out there. Definitely will be doing some work. Even a Jackal could bring some work with the secondary shotgun that he does carry, of course. And with that, they might be able to truly lock out many of these positions that Navi play in. So playing on that second floor is going to be crucial. They need to have at least a solid hold of that position or area to make sure you don't give that away for free.
So look at what Yak is bringing in this case. The Warden, as we see him in play finally. Once he ascends on the other side, but it will be a Flores and the Jackal. I'm wondering why Scyther has gone to the Jackal in this case. It's not for the smokes for sure, because you have other operators that can help with that. It will most likely be for the actual gadget itself. You can scan through, get all the foot information just in case Pwns are expecting Navi to just get way more aggressive and try to take, I guess, have the advantage, but they want to be on that first foot and grab the first kill. Unfortunately for Navi, they will not be able to, as Nico will find the first kill, drop Nath, and there is no more mute to be used. Not the end of the world, but still a nitro down and a player too.
It's a place and forget gadgetry, right? So the mute jammers, they will be down. It's just indeed the player, the presence that you no longer have. That's a bit worrying because Navi has been losing these opening kills in the last 3 rounds so far, only having it in the very first. But that's not just it. Usually Pones was able to find 3 kills before Navi was able to respond. So they definitely need to make sure that that changes now. You lost that first. All right, nothing else you can do about that. Make sure you do not lose another 2 before you put one on the board, because Pones, they do have that man advantage now. They do have tons of grenades to work with. And as you said, like, why would you use the Jackal? Yes, it is for the Inox, and probably because it's 3 floors you need to clear now. It makes it a little bit easier indeed to get rid of these players. But also, if they are back on side, you know exactly where they will be hiding.
Exactly. There's the Flores now deploying his Rataro drone, and they'll be able to drop through the hatch if need be. But you know that there's already mute jammers. They're still doing some work and just using the Rataro drone to open up holes. You would love to have a buck in this position. The sledge is in the opposite side, inside of that engine room, and just trying to clear out as much as possible. Oh, a very difficult fight here for Exodus. Caught with a nade in hand, but he will survive and boost up the rest of the team with some extra HP, as we all know, Finka and the way that she works. His grenade being lobbed in. Oh no, he moved right away at the perfect time. Blur will not take any damage, and using his knives just in perfect positions to slow down that advantage that has been given. Look at the angles that are being done with the knives themselves. The kunais. Flash is out. They'll take the fight, and WTG hits the head on a Blur. That's a cleanup you're looking for. Not too sure why Blur swung there deep. It's not really that much useful, but calms down. But only 20 seconds left.
Probably wanted to stop the bleeding there before it got too bad. WTG will be taking care of the camera and will go and try for a plant. Yak goes down. It's another triple entry before they even try and find someone. It will turn into 4 and a flawless round at that. Pones managed to surgically dispatch Navi. It starts off with that very first kill. After that, they can play the trade game, but don't even have to, as they take these individual engagements all over the map and manage to come out on top in each and every single one of them. And that puts them up to 3-1. And you know, I said it before, like, I feel Navi could win. However, these first 4 rounds are going to be quite telling to see whether or not it was just a one-off or if it was the new standard for them.
I mean, I'm not going to say that the desk was wrong, but we're not there. I'm not going to jinx it.
That's the hostess job, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
exactly. As a caster, I obviously cannot say that and, denigrate my colleagues on the other side of this gilded room. However, I will say that it is a pretty good start for Pones. Being able to put 3 rounds on the attack on Cafe Dostoyevsky is great. Usually the halves you're expecting are 4-2. 5-1 for the defense is a bit too much. 4-2 is where, okay, there is still a relatively good chance for the attacking, or for now swapped on attacking side, to actually be able to bring it back. So questions have been raised, and we're looking to answer them. And one of those potential solutions to an issue is Exodus swapping on to the Nook. If your opponents are just going around everywhere and they're actually roaming, why bring the Jackal? Just bring something to disrupt them even more.
It's not like the information players have really been helping Navi, though. I think they might have favored more of... I mean, to be fair, it's not like the Jekyll found any roamers as well. They just managed to find the people on site, and they tried to get grenades in, but the rotations weren't quick enough. Took care of a bunch of keeper barriers, though. But it shows you how easily you can dispatch them, especially if it's like an Azami placing all these barriers for themselves around their own circular location. Just a single grenade pops in, all of them are gone. So you need to be really careful in using those. As here we see Cider trying to get rid of that one.
Oh my god,
just dodges the EMP drone there.
Oh my god, this thing is doing so much work. So much utility has been destroyed, and we're going to go to Black and White Siege. I love every part of it. This just adds to the cinematic mode. As we see, now a big setup for Navi. This is not an old game, by the way. If you're looking at it, this is definitely in the latest patch. Just because it's black and white doesn't mean that it's old. Movies have lied to you. And there's the second Twitch drone that has been taken down by Skitty on the Melusi. And you see, it's a standard setup. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Navi were to take this round just because of how powerful the site is on the defense and reading room. The mission will be able to split into this cigar lounge. Not able to find any heads just yet. It's odd to not see any openings being made here in bathroom, but fair enough for Navi. They're splitting all over. There's a Nook finally coming into play.
Now, this is, of course, the one side that was won before by the side of NAVI, so they're trying to bank on the fact that they can maybe do it again, but Blur gets spotted there right behind the bar. Could be quite detrimental because there's limited spaces he can fall back to here, and definitely the pressure on him seems to be rising up, but WATG needs to be quite careful. Gets a spot, but that's the entry kill there, 5-on-4. Spotted someone right below him as well. Is trying to connect the shots. We'll find it's a double entry for WATG, and with 45 seconds on the clock inside to finding one as well. It is only up to Yak now, and once again, finally the response comes in, but he is about to get turned on, and that is Pones with yet another quick round.
I mean, it doesn't matter, you know, hey, you got an onion to peel. You got to go through it one by one. How about I just
You can just grab the knife and you just cut right through the middle.
You just smash it.
You could do that as well. Hydraulic press it.
That's the one I'd love to see. Well, you know what? It seems like Pones have been able to pretty much put Navi's defenses in the hydraulic press, but also, to quote, in the bin.
Yeah, I was going to say.
As Leon would say. But there it is. The play we've been looking for. 4 rounds in the attack is excellent for Pones, and to have at least we'll see in this final round of this first half, but able to flip the script on what is the usual expectation for the attacking side. Stein,
yes.
We're back on kitchen defense. You're wondering what Navi are cooking up. I'm really wondering too. Hopefully it doesn't burn up real quick.
It's definitely been the theme of these last 2 rounds. Them just as soon as, you know, started boiling in the site, instantly burnt. Something they need to make sure it doesn't happen again. Because, I said again, as soon as one entry goes into way of Pones, it follows up with at least 2 more kills before Navi is going to be able to find a response. And I can tell you this, round 1, Navi had 1 entry kill, instantly traded out. Pones, 3 entry kills, then a trade came through, a mission aced. Round 3, 3 entry kills, then a trade came out. Round 4, a flawless round, so you basically make it out as you wish. And round 5, 4 entry kills before a trade came out. Now, Exodus knows that this window just got punched. Is it going to go with the LMG and go for a bit of a swing as Nico does get down, but it's still safe?
Is that an entry?
No,
is that an entry?
Not.
Oh, no, it is not. You know, there was a time when Zofia can pick herself up, but at least here you got the Finka to help out. Exodus has made it in. There's no nitros to respond to him as he dove through the window, but at least the situation has been normalized.
Someone in that position just a couple of seconds ago, though, so there was Skitty actually punching it, quickly fell back off and trying to play it a bit more patient now, and rightfully so, because they are, of course, in that kitchen. They are not on that top floor. You do not need to hold it with everything you got. And as Blur is, again, trying to fortify his own position right here, it will definitely be the target of a couple of C4s, as a mission will get the trade into Nath, and Exodus will be able to find one as well.
There it is, 2-3 kills for Pones as Navi are close to being shut down. Skitty and Yak are still alive. They have some utility that had been used up earlier by Blur on the Azami to set up some at least close to one-ways. There's quite a few that you can play with the kunai knives, but with 4 left, you know what happens? A minute and a half in, Pones, they fall back. The rest say, hey, boys, hamburger. We got 6 drones, now down to 5. Say again?
I like cheeseburger more, but...
Cheeseburger, there it is, just for you, Hap. Slow down, let's take it slow. We have the advantage, we have the information. Let's just use the time to our advantage. And there's the info that's given here off the drone. Quick fire through from Yak, unable to find anybody. Skitty's already been spotted by the Nitro, and he's just going to be falling back. A kill from Exodus is close to closing out this round. Leaves only 1 position for Skitty to be watched from. With all players closing in to seal his doom. What can he actually do? Well, he swings wide. The finger's not looking anywhere. Exodus gets 1. Emission closes the second. Emission has been on 1, as they say today. He's definitely putting Navi in their place. 5-1 on the attacking side. Stein Hoppers. Incredible.
It's really looking good for Pones here, and 88% of the...
Glorious man that I am talking about right now. Well, holes, they work both ways, Milosh, as he would have
They
said.
do work both
He's still
ways.
live, by the way. I'm not saying it in this way. It's just been a while. But it seems like it's going to take more than just some rotation holes to kick Navi back into action.
But the thing I was trying to say is, like, there's two halves to a game of Siege. This first half has not just been done. It's been won by Pones with a 5-1. However, how many comebacks have we seen from a 5-1? On maps like Consulate, for example.
Only if you're G2 on this map. Well, I mean, when G2 are up 5-1.
I mean, that's a classic G2, right? Like, they like to throw every now and then.
Yeah.
But NAVI, not with this roster, but had a history of coming back as well from being 5-1 down. And I'm not saying this because I think it's going to be happening right now. I'm just saying it because it's possible, and I want to throw it out there that if NAVI comes back, then at least I called it out before they could. So
you're really playing hardball here, Steinhappers.
I'm playing both sides here, right? It's just trying to make sure I'm always right.
All right. Okay. Typical centrist in this case. Here we are, by the way, since we're just throwing it out there. Just want to throw it out there. Emmy, we love you so very much. We hope that you're going to be feeling much better in the next few days so you can come back and actually lend the cast and lend the games the casting they deserve, because I'm too old for this stuff. Or since everybody's doing it, I'm too old for this shit, and we need an actual professional to come here and cast properly. But we're in, and we get to see if NAVI are able to collect a round. They're running pretty much the same operator setup that we saw Pones running on their attacking side, and we know it works. Honestly, you can put this setup on any its composition on any map, and it would still do very, very well. It's just how much time can Pones burn off of NAVI?
It's a big question. They're trying to push in quickly, though, but Pones trying to play a bit passive here, and with a minute 40 on that clock, that is the right call. You want to make sure that you do not give them these entries. You do not give them free ground. Stay there as long as you can. That Nitro Cell will find Nave. Probably wasn't even meant to get a kill right there. Actually, yes, it was, because there was a pulse on the board. They knew what they would get with that throw, and as Exodus just dodges that grenade like it's a softball there, they do continue to have that advantage.
A big advantage here with Nath down. There's no way for me to open up another Nitro! A Mission picking up more kills, and it's Yak at least to turn it around and drop WTG, but it's taking so much damage on the entry. Exodus is looking to collect more. There's a great position for Blur to be in, but does he have the info? Oh, yes, he does. There's the kill, and he's got control of that 90 hallway. The Pulse of Nico is giving out information. That's how you could see those Nitros landing before. But 3v3 with not much util other than just your gun left for Pones, they're going to have to hunker down. And there's a decent amount of time for NAVI to open up, if only they had a Heartbreacher.
Yak is quite low, though, so just a couple of bullets will be getting in the DBNO state. And guess what? He's carrying that diffuser. You really want to maybe switch that off or make sure he's allowed a safe entry. Top 4 under control, at least for now. One of these members, Skiddy, is currently playing up there, and that will be called out by that sledge. In the meantime, though, Bulletproof Chem will confirm that the plant is indeed going on, so Nico just needs to come around the corner, gets the kill, gets his second, it's a triple for him, and Scyther finds the last, and it's 6-1 here for Pones.
There is no way in hell that a Pulse with a UMP just walked in and got 2 kills when all you had to do is follow the damn train, CJ. All you had to do is just hold the doorway and take control. In a 3v3, you had it all down to the wire. Unfortunately, mistakes were made, and why is it always the game I get to cast that always ends in this way?
It's because you're old, and we give you the games that just end up being
Thank you
quick.
very much.
So we spare your beautiful voice for the rest of the day.
I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder, or in the ears of the beholder right now, and I'd rather all our ears be covered. At least NAVI seem to be. The way we're looking at things in a game, Pones will go to a kitchen defense, and questions need to be raised about what's going on here. We're seeing the Ossa being brought up by Yak, potentially for NAVI to just, say, you know what, to hell with it. We're just going to go and plant. Last time we lost it because we just could not control that position on our own and plant properly. But in reading, that was another issue. Here we go to kitchen. We just set it up and going for the plant. No problemo.
Now, let me just check how many grenades are currently on the board for NAVI. I see 4. Do you see more than that? I see 4 grenades.
Well, yeah, you see 4 grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have been
fire inside the mountain.
No, but they were the ones that banned Wamai, and we saw Pones make better use of those grenades in every single round And of course, we only saw one from NAVI so far, but you really would like to see them use these grenades to the best of their ability. I mean, there's only 3 ADSs on the board, and they will be spread out probably across the map or all placed on the cupcake bar. So it is a good opportunity to show your skill with these fragmentation grenades. You can start opening up without taking any risks, because that is something that Pwns did well. They managed to get these fragmentation grenade kills without even having to peek anybody.
If I'm Pwns, I'm collecting a few of those cupcakes on the way, pass and go, and collecting another few points at the end of today. They'll be very happy with that. So there's the gridlock in play. An operator we don't usually get to see in play, but honestly, the F90, even the 249, the amount of utility that this operator brings, especially to control those stairs, I love every part of it. I'm just not sure if this is the solution, but we'll set that aside because it doesn't matter what I believe. It's all on to NAVI to make it happen. And Blur is holding off a great position here. Rotations will be nigh impossible for Pwns, even though they know exactly where he is. It actually is pretty good because he's disabling practically 2 operators in this way, pulling WTG in, taking a lot of damage here on the Echo, but that's about all you're getting for NAVI.
Go for a bit of a bait here. Skitty has the rotation back into the site, so we'll be holding that from above. Could find a entry from set position if Pwns is just pushed around a little bit more, so they need to start playing those strings well and make sure that the pressure is truly rising. But yet again, none of these grenades have been used yet. The first kill comes in, but an instant trade is going to be there. Blur will take down Exodus as he finds way to trade each other. All right, well, yeah, that works out as well.
Skitty still gets one on the WTG, so that's something. And a good control, at least here for the Sledge on the top floor. Finally, we're seeing it happen. There's 3 operators left. No nitros in between, just the 3 smokes of Scyther. And this is where you love to have the Ossa. One more shield has been deployed as Emission is far away here with the mute. There's Nitro that will miss. Now wondering where Scyther is.
It's right there.
No, he's right there. Okay, well, there's Nico. He's taken out. Grenade will also land just in case. The smoke being thrown on the side, but that could not stop a plant from going down. Nath will find a kill, leaving Scyther all on his own with the FMG9 and 2 smokes. There's 20 seconds left. You have to have this here. Yak will go in for the plant, and it is successful. NAVI have every single advantage humanly possible, and 2 more smoke grenades ready to go. Top floor control, the whole shebang. They got all the real estate possible here. They're just buying it all up like a consortium, and they get it done. NAVI collect a second round. Steinhappers, it's happened. Gefeliciteerd.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was going to say, we can just do this cast in Dutch, and then people won't understand.
I cannot.
You can pretend.
Look, we're the Benelux boys, but I'm more of the
Beneluxian.
Yeah, I'm the Wallonia part of the Benelux. You're more the I guess Dutch, not Flemish.
Yes. I'm on the border though between the 2.
That's true. Well, Flemish is is
people from Utrecht. They call me Belgian. So. That's how close I live to the border.
Damn, dude, that's gotta feel real bad. Imagine.
Well, at least my roads aren't bad like Belgian roads are.
But I think that's what they're trying to say. That's the insult.
Yeah, I know.
Damn, dude.
I mean, the Dutch and the Belgians, they are very well known for having some good banter with one another every now and then. Yet, when we're Benelux, we are all love. So
we're all together on this one. Speaking of, I'll be in Belgium this week.
Are you?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Love Belgium. It's been a while. Here we are, in game. Stein, what do you expect this to go?
Well, we just saw the second round of NAVI, and during that round, Pwns looked relatively clueless. We're basically being picked apart by NAVI, like how NAVI was being picked apart by Pwns for most of their defensive rounds. So, as I said, to house the game of Siege, this might be the turning point. This might be where NAVI is going to be making sure that they bring this back to a 6-6. Overtime they go, and then see who's going to get the better. Oh, that's an ADS destroyed by Kiba.
Oh, no.
It's not ideal.
I mean, he knows it. Own it up.
Yeah, it's not ideal. He'd probably say, oh, what happened? One of the ADSs just magically disappeared. But no. Blur is going to be sneaking up here as the hatch gets opened up, hoping to find some aggression, but someone's right thrown beneath the cigar. Is he going to be seen? Emission just staying prone here. A single drone should be able to confirm this, but there is mute jammers all on the board, but they do seem to have a bit of a ping. A rough location, maybe. Trying to figure out where to throw these grenades because they have 4 of them. and probably will be using them in a depth charge way where they try and get the kills from below with relative little risk.
So there's players falling back. There's a lot, like you say, taking control of that bottom floor and taking control of reading room is actually incredibly important. There are positions where you can go boost up as the sledge and open up onto anybody that's playing inside of that cocktail bar, but there's nobody in there. There's a Maestro in play, sure, but Scyther's not actually holding on to that position. He's being more careful, playing at the top of the stairs, and Amision will just find Blur. A massive kill on the Finca, and you're thinking, well, if this is not going well already, then what is Yak's play? What does he do in this case? Navi are waiting for Pwns to make mistakes, but Pwns play it well. They're the defense. They just have to basically camp it out.
2 of the grenades gone as well that haven't been able to use. Some quick concussions or impacts used to get rid of any of the default positions the Maestro is usually playing on. Not the case this time, however. And you just said, what is Yak going to be doing here? Well, he might be looking to eye himself up the hatch, for example, see if he can get into a direct spot to go for the plant that is near the laundry, of course, but they have no control whatsoever. NAVI is on that window, might be able to cover off that door if they do decide to come through, and as a flying drone is being set up, this is exactly what they will be eyeing to go through.
So what's the play now for Navi? Look at the reverse repel. We are back to 2018, ladies and gentlemen. Nembi's Skitty on set up in the window here by White Stairs. Grenade will lob up, but no, unfortunately, that ADS was not destroyed. My friend, due to friendly fire. Yak is still unsure what to do in this case, and I wouldn't be surprised. Exodus drives up, and instantly Skitty will collect him. Yak with another one. It's actually going Navi's way, but they're limited on time. They can, however, blast directly into the hatch if they can find the position. There it is. Yak is in on site. He goes into a safe spot, and he's got the support right on the window.
C4 though is coming through. We'll be taking care of that diffuser, and yes, Nico goes down, but a repelling comes through. 8 seconds on the clock. They wanted to go for a pickup, but Amision will be locking it off instead, and that means that Pwns is going to be able to take the win here. It was a valiant effort by NAVI. They had a man advantage. They tried to go for the plant, just weren't able to deal with the nitro that was being tossed through. And you see how happy Nico was. He was just clapping in his hands while we have the keyboard camera. It's an important win for them if we look at the entirety of the stage and where it might develop at the end of the year, because we always have that danger of